They're not your Hall of Famers. Some aren't even household names, but you can't sleep on this group of NFL legends.
Is he ever for real?
Strap in for episode 7 of the NFL's Greatest Forgotten Players.
Big hit by Cam Chancellor. Big hit. Cam Chancellor. Johnson hit hard by Cam Chancellor.
We're starting today's episode off with a bang, literally. Cam Chancellor put the boom in the Legion of Boom, earning a role as the enforcer on an all-time secondary that also featured Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman. The 2010 fifth-round pick finally got a chance to start in his second season, immediately playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Intercepted! Cam Chancellor has it! Seahawks ball.
The safety only tallied 12 career interceptions, but his value was recognized by teammates and opponents alike. Chancellor's versatility had him wrecking the run game, locking down tight ends in coverage, and making clutch plays when needed most.
Stafford takes the snap, looks left, fires inside, ball's caught by Johnson. He gets in the end zone, he fumbles in the end zone. The ball comes out of the back of the end zone.
Cam Chancellor with a big hit.
2nd and 4. Again time. Near side, intercepted! It's intercepted by Chancellor!
Chancellor was named to 4 Pro Bowls and was second-team All-Pro twice in a brief 8-year playing career. The Seahawks allowed the fewest points in the league from 2010 to 2017, the entire span of his career. Rod Smith has been underrated his whole life. Undrafted out of Missouri Southern, Smith had to scratch and claw his way onto Denver's roster. But once he made his first career catch, the Broncos knew they found a real weapon.
Let him throw underneath. Elway firing to Smith. Broncos win it.
Smith went on to be John Elway's top target for the remainder of the 90s. The overlooked star produced 8 1,000-yard seasons and finished his career as the Broncos' all-time leading receiver.
Elway going deep, and he's got Rod Smith. And Smith's gone.
Smith's durability can't go unnoticed, as he only missed 3 games from 1997 to 2006. In that same span, Smith was top 3 in the league in catches and receiving yards, competing with Hall of Famers like Marvin Harrison, T.O., and Randy Moss.
Throwing long for Rod Smith. What a catch!
He posted a 1,600-yard season in 2000, then followed that up with 113 catches in 2001, tops in the league. Smith was often overshadowed by Elway and Terrell Davis on those great teams of the 90s, but ask any player, coach, or fan in that era, and they will tell you just how valuable number 80 was. The greatest show on turf is regarded as one of the greatest offenses in NFL history, and rightfully so. But one must remember that those teams could play some defense too.
On first down, McNair under pressure, and it's Kevin Carter who led the league this season, 17 sacks.
And for the 1999 Rams, Kevin Carter was a star that anchored that side of the ball. Carter averaged double-digit sacks over his 6 seasons in St. Louis, with an NFL-high 17 in 1999.
Chandler, pump fakes, and he is taken down. It's Kevin Carter.
Burline to be sacked again, Kevin Carter.
He went on to play for Tennessee, earning another Pro Bowl in his second season with the team.
Carter just came in and leveled Anthony Wright. He had a free run at him.
Carter made stops in Miami and Tampa to finish out his career. The 14-year vet retired as a member of the 100-sack club and didn't miss a single game in his entire career. He was durable, reliable, and a key contributor for any defense he suited up for. Next up is a Detroit icon and a Lions number 20 that's been forgotten over the years. Billy Sims' majestic running style made him the number 1 overall pick in the 1980 draft, and he proved his value from the start.
And Billy Sims wide open. There it goes. Cromwell can't catch him.
A lot as he has Campbell and Payton breathing down his back. He's going to add some yardage here. 30, 25, 20. He's down to the 10, 5, touchdown.
As a rookie, Sims' 16 total touchdowns was tops in the NFL. From 1980 to 1982, nobody found the end zone more. He was named to 3 straight Pro Bowls and led Detroit to the playoffs twice as the face of the team.
Sims up the middle, he scores.
Sims averaged 120 yards from scrimmage through his first 60 games. He's sadly become a footnote in history due to a tragic injury. He became one of the many victims of the AstroTurf craze that was taking over the league, blowing out his knee in 1984. He would never play another snap, forced to retire after just 5 seasons.
Kramer going for Jordan, and Jordan makes the catch against the gambling coffee, and down the sidelines goes Steve Jordan for a Minnesota touchdown.
Staying in the 80s, we have one of the most consistent tight ends of the decade in Steve Jordan. Father of New Orleans Saints Cam Jordan, Pops was a sure-handed safety blanket for quarterback Tommy Kramer and a fixture in the NFL playoffs with Minnesota.
Here's Wilson back to throw. Up the middle. Touchdown to his tight end, Steve Jordan.
From 1986 to 1991, Jordan made 6 straight Pro Bowls, leading all tight ends in receiving yards in that stretch by over 500 yards. Similar to his son, he stayed loyal to the team that drafted him. Jordan played his entire 13-year career in Minnesota.
Gannon throws. Oh, wide open is Steve Jordan. And Jordan gets a tremendous block and goes in for the touchdown.
From 1984 to 1993, Jordan was good for an average of 600 yards a season. He gets overlooked when we think of great tight ends from that era. Surely Ozzie Newsome and Kellen Winslow deserve all the praise they get, but if you needed a clutch catch on a 3rd and 5 late in the game, you could always rely on this Viking.
That was a 19-yard gain, and here is Jamal Anderson. Anderson with one defender. And Merin Hanks tries to push him out. Touchdown, Jamal Anderson.
5-man rush, 6-man rush. 2 linebackers blitzing against the screen to Anderson. Inside the 30, still going inside the 20. Breaks a tackle, he's going to score. The Falcons are right in the middle of this one. 47 yards.
You could make an entire video on how the 1998 Falcons have been overshadowed, a 14-2 season out of nowhere, and one of the greatest upsets in playoff history. The Dirty Birds took their magic all the way to Super Bowl 33. At the center of their miraculous run was running back Jamal Anderson.
They hand it off to Jamal Anderson, and he's got the first down and then some. Jamal Anderson, touchdown, Atlanta. With the Falcons on the Lions 43, Jamal. Oh, what about that?
He's still man. Watch what he does to Boyd. Just puts him airborne. Now look what he does to Raymond. Oh.
The former 7th-round pick earned a starting role with the team by year 3 and immediately rewarded the team with 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Anderson's 1,800 yards and 16 total touchdowns in 1998 were good enough to earn first-team All-Pro honors.
The Falcons are going to the Super Bowl!
Who would have ever believed it?
Unfortunately, Anderson's career was shortened by a collection of knee issues. He squeezed in a final 1,000-yard campaign in 2000, but it was all over by the following season. At his best, though, Anderson was a nightmare for opposing linebackers and defensive coordinators alike. To be among the greatest defenses in NFL history, you have to be littered with talent at every position. That was exactly the case with the 2000 Ravens, and we're spotlighting their star corner, Chris McAllister.
McNair, blitz coming, unloads, Mason, intercepted, Chris McAllister.
McAllister was a ball hawk, but his best attribute was what he did once the ball was in his hands. In 2000, McAllister led the entire league in interception return yardage, making plays like this look routine.
Sidelines, intercepted! It's Chris McAllister! One man to beat, he's around one. Chris McAllister all the way for a touchdown!
Earning first-team All-Pro in 2003, he and young Ed Reed patrolled the Baltimore secondary, while Ray Lewis led the front 7. The 3-time Pro Bowler was quintessential to the shutdown defenses of the 2000s.
It's picked off. Wrathman is picked up by McAllister. Will take it in for 6.
And the kick is short. Taken in the end zone by McAllister, and McAllister's going to come out with it, figuring he has nothing to lose. McAllister coming down the sideline, and McAllister is going to go all the way.
Mallister played with the Ravens from 1999 to 2008, a span in which Baltimore allowed the fewest points in the league. They don't do it without their shutdown corner. Speaking of putting up points in unorthodox ways, Josh Cribbs became the Browns' most dynamic weapon, serving as a return ace. At the time of his retirement, no player in NFL history returned more kicks for touchdowns.
That touched the fingertips of Cribbs. He has to pick it up. It was stuck right just outside the goal line. And the high wire act down the sideline. He did not step out. There is no signal he stepped out. He's got Hyden out in front of him. Cribbs could take it all the way for the touchdown, Cleveland.
It's no secret the Browns have struggled mightily in their new millennium, but Cribbs' big plays were a bright spot for this franchise. He was never a true threat at receiver, but for what he lacked in route running, he more than made up for with great vision and explosiveness.
This is Josh Cribbs on the return. This is exactly what Cleveland needed. To the 25, to the 20, 10, and Cribbs is gone.
Cribbs was named to the Pro Bowl 3 times, with his best season coming in 2009. That year, he made All-Pro, leading the league with 3 kick return touchdowns while adding a punt return score. His best career game coming in a wild win in Kansas City, where Cribbs made 2 100-yard house calls. He is one of 11 players all-time with 2 kick return touchdowns in one game.
Sidesteps another, and there he goes! Off to the races, Josh Cribbs! He's gone! Touchdown, Browns! Josh Cribbs.
Cribbs takes it out of the end zone.
Cribbs, middle of the field, and Josh Cribbs! He does it again! Josh Cribbs is at a different level.
All told, over 15,000 career all-purpose yards and 11 return touchdowns for the undrafted star.
Steps forward, he's past the line of scrimmage.
Yes, he is.
It's intercepted. Kansas City will have the ball at the interception. Here's the return from the end zone by Albert Lewis.
When talking about some of the best defenses of the 80s and 90s, very seldomly does someone bring up the Kansas City Chiefs. Yet, from 1986 to 1993, they allowed the second fewest passing yards in the NFL. Much of that elite play should be credited to shutdown corner Albert Lewis.
Miller going up top, looking for Haynes. And it's picked off. Miller looking for Rise and overthrows it. Second interception of the afternoon for Albert Lewis. Gets a couple of great blocks from Houston Hoover and going downtown for Pritchard. Albert Lewis with his 3rd interception of the afternoon.
At 6'2", Lewis was much taller than the average cornerback, but possessed the speed and versatility to make star receivers look average. His 42 career interceptions speak for themselves, but Lewis was no one-trick pony.
Here's the punt. It's blocked by Albert Lewis. It's picked up by Kozar. It's knocked free from Kozar. It's rolling to the 5. Picked up by Kevin Ross. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown.
Lewis unofficially blocked an NFL record 11 punts during his time, with 4 leading to touchdowns. KC's special teams play in 1986 alone was worthy of an entire video on our channel. Lewis earned 4 career Pro Bowl nods and back-to-back All-Pro selections in 89 and 90. He landed with the Raiders for the last 5 years of his career, where he'd be a primary starter until age 38. A forgotten legend indeed.
And slung down by Chester McGloin is Elway.
Oliver loses the football. The Raiders stripped it and they have it. Chester McGloin strips it away.
It's time to show a big man some love. One of the best defensive tackles of the 90s, Chester McGloin often gets lost in the shuffle, with stars like John Randall and Cortez Kennedy getting the spotlight. But this 330-pound wrecking ball was a force in the AFC West.
I made the comment before that he's like E.F. Hutton when he talks to
McGloin, that is his first sack in NFL history.
To Harold Green, and coming back to
unique clinger was McGloin.
McGloin made 4 straight Pro Bowls as a Raider from 94 to 97, even earning All-Pro honors in that stretch. He could stuff the run and get after the passer, averaging 8 sacks per season from 1993 to 1996. He'd go on to join the Chiefs and Broncos, wreaking havoc on the division for over a decade.
Lost half a yard.
The former first-round pick never had the same popularity as the game's flashiest playmakers, but that didn't mean he wasn't a threat with the ball in his hands.
McGloin made just a great one-handed catch of this one.
Football fans today know Mike Vrabel as the coach who turned the Titans around and who's now back home in New England, but we're here to let you know just how awesome he was as a Patriots linebacker.
Manning running out of time. Goes down, lost the football. It's Dan Klecko with the recovery, and it's New England ball.
Mike Vrabel comes in, makes the hit.
McNabb in trouble. Down he goes. Vrabel.
Originally a backup and special teamer for Pittsburgh, his talent was overlooked by every team in the NFL. Well, except for the Patriots and Bill Belichick, who found a gem in their 2001 free agency class.
Pennington under pressure from behind, the ball's loose. Knocked away by Vrabel on the blitz from behind.
Versatility was a theme among New England's best players during the early years of the dynasty, and Vrabel was no exception. As a linebacker, he was a constant starter and epitomized the do-your-job motto.
Ball pass, let it go, picked off. Ty Law, touchdown.
Vrabel hits Warner as he throws the ball. Ty Law gets it and takes it in the end zone.
Campbell on 3rd and 9, third sack for Vrabel, his third forced fumble. Colvin takes it into the end zone for a Patriots touchdown.
Vrabel's best year came in the Patriots' undefeated 2007 season, where the defender notched 12.5 sacks and All-Pro honors. But it was the other side of the ball where he became more recognized among fans.
Brady looking to throw it. Touchdown, Mike Vrabel. Brady play action, fires. Vrabel catches it.
In goal line packages, Vrabel was a legitimate touchdown threat that opposing defenses could not underestimate. Including the playoffs, Vrabel caught 12 career passes. All 12 were touchdowns. You can't get much more efficient than that. His 2 Super Bowl touchdowns helped the Pats earn back-to-back Lombardis, cementing New England as the dynasty of the 2000s.
Roman Gabriel is a man who loves his work. I think he could throw a football through a brick wall, a rival coach once said.
We're taking it back to LA in the 1960s for our next forgotten legend. While Deacon Jones and the fearsome foursome were the face of the Rams teams of that era, quarterback Roman Gabriel steadied the ship on the offensive side.
Gabriel now is playing his finest football. His greatest weapons are the play-action passes.
With Gabriel's rocket arm, Los Angeles won at least 8 games every season from 1966 to 1971. In that span, Gabriel was top 5 in the NFL in completions, yards, and touchdowns. His best season came in 1969, winning MVP of the league with 24 TD passes and an 11-3 record.
Gabriel brought with him from the Rams skills polished over 11 years and the mental toughness that comes with playing in must games for a contending team.
While his time with the Rams came to an end in 1973, Gabriel proved to have more in the tank. He was named to another Pro Bowl as the face of the Eagles before retiring in 1977, one of the best quarterbacks not in the Hall. Before he was the face of the NFL League office, Troy Vincent put together an outstanding career as a cornerback. The ball hawk picked off 47 passes over his 15-year NFL journey.
It's going downfield, underthrown, intercepted by Troy Vincent.
Mix up on the snap, and then Esiason throwing, and it is picked off. Did he scoop it up? Troy Vincent.
Drafted by Miami in 1992, Vincent notched 5 picks in both 94 and 95, but it wouldn't be until year 5 when he ascended to his peak.
Dilfer gets time and goes deep. Way down the field. And it is intercepted by Troy Vincent. The blitz is on. Troy Vincent wraps up Gilfer and wheels him down.
Vincent signed with his hometown Eagles in 1996 and never looked back. From 1999 to 2003, he made 5 straight Pro Bowls, and his 7 picks in '99 tied for tops in the league. Vincent's elite play alongside fellow defensive back Brian Dawkins was a major catalyst for Philly's NFC Championship streak in the 2000s.
Johnson again goes deep this time. Intercepted. Troy Vincent.
Take a look at this timing. It's absolutely perfect.
Warner throws, end zone, underthrown and intercepted Vincent.
His production and resume speak for itself, but the All-Pro wasn't done yet. Vincent moved to safety in Buffalo, becoming a contributor well into his 30s. The respected vet went on to become the EVP of football operations at the NFL League office.
John L. Williams into the secondary. There he goes. Nobody will catch the big one. John L. Williams and a touchdown for the Seahawks.
Give you some more in-depth information after this play. A throwback screen is complete to John L. Williams. Williams to the 40, Williams to the 50. Williams can bust it to the 20, the 10. He's got it, 75 yards.
Okay, going with a deep cut next. Fullbacks were alive and well in the 1980s, and John L. Williams defined the versatility needed at that time. Despite going without a touchdown in his debut season, the first-round pick still finished second in Rookie of the Year voting in 1986, blocking for workhorse backs Kurt Warner and later Chris Warren. Williams added to a stellar backfield in the 80s and 90s.
Now Williams moves to the outside.
Over the next 10 seasons, Williams made 2 trips to the Pro Bowl and turned into a premier receiver out of the backfield. His 546 career catches is more than any other running back over that span.
Second and 10. And Craig lofting it for Williams. He's inside the 10. John L. Williams, touchdown.
Williams led the Seahawks in catches in 3 different seasons. He averaged over 1,000 yards from scrimmage through his first 9 campaigns and could still lay the boom in the run game, a Swiss Army knife in Seattle.
Handoff on the reverse, the month back to throw, Rippon going deep down the right sideline. Got a man out there, and it's broken. Intercepted in the end zone by Mark Carrier. Rippon under a blitz, and Roper dumps it off the side through the hands of Sanders. Intercepted by Carrier. Rippon straight back to throw. Rippon under pressure, hit by Clark. Ring goes deep down the middle, going for Clark. And it's Carrier.
Too late to be part of the '85 Bears and too early to be teammates with Brian Urlacher. Carrier recorded a league-high 10 interceptions along with 5 forced fumbles. He was a no-brainer for Defensive Rookie of the Year in 1990. Carrier's early success mirrored Chicago's, as the team would enjoy back-to-back playoff seasons, with the safety earning consecutive Pro Bowl nods.
Favre picked off Carrier. Carrier with open field ahead. Carrier is in for the touchdown. Touchdown, Chicago.
The Cincinnati Bengals have had a long line of great receivers throughout their history: Jamar, Ocho Cinco, Green, Collinsworth, but it all started in 1973 when the team used their first-round draft pick on Isaac Curtis.
In his first year in the NFL, Isaac Curtis was simply a sensation. Long and lean, he has sprinter speed and adhesive hands.
Averaging over 17 yards per catch during his career, Curtis was a threat to reach the end zone every time he got the ball in his hands. He was so fast that Dolphins coach Don Shula had his DBs bump and hold him down the field. That led to the NFL's creation of the Isaac Curtis rule, penalizing defenses for excessive contact. From 1973 to 1979, he was top 5 in the league in receiving touchdowns and top 10 in yardage.
Curtis and Ken Anderson teamed for 3 picture-perfect touchdown passes to beat Cleveland, and they all but assured themselves of their second division title in 4 years.
Curtis made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 4 seasons and was a key contributor to Cincy's Super Bowl run in 1981. He was one of the original faces of the Bengals and forever a franchise icon.
Stopper under pressure. Intercepted. Neil Smith. Touchdown.
The great Derek Thomas has a bust in Canton for his dominance in the 90s, but DT wasn't alone on that Kansas City defense. Defensive end Neil Smith wreaked havoc in Arrowhead for 9 seasons and capped off every sack with his signature celebration.
Remember that for a 400-yard day, and it's knocked away, and that's ruled a fumble, and recovered by Kansas City at the 29-yard line. Derek Thomas, and there's the man, Neil Smith.
Smith and Thomas formed perhaps the league's most ferocious pass rush duo, making life miserable for NFL quarterbacks. Their 94.5 combined sacks from 1992 to 1995 were more than any two-man combo in the league. Smith accounted for 53 of them, outproducing his Hall of Fame teammate.
Throwback has to eat it as Neil Smith, the former Chief, here's that famous home run swing.
Once Smith entered free agency in 1997, he proved to be the missing piece on a Denver team that had previously come so close to winning the Lombardi. Smith was a Pro Bowler in '97 and helped the Broncos win back-to-back rings to close the decade.
Banks in trouble, and down he goes. Neil Smith got a blitz. Quick pass, complete, and dropping the football is Gadsden, and Gadsden is injured. It's a completion ruled like a fumble. Neil Smith. Neil Smith for the touchdown.
In all, he was a 6-time Pro Bowler, a member of the 100 Sack Club, and earned the title as one of the most dominant defenders of the 90s. 2 fullbacks in one episode? We're spoiling you guys with this one. The crew cut, the neck roll, and shoulder pads about 3 sizes too big? Yeah, this is what the position is all about. Tom Wrathman brought the thump to a West Coast offense built on precision and finesse, often the one who put his head down and blocked for running mate Roger Craig. Wrathman still carved his own role of production with Bill Walsh.
On the reverse. Touchdown, Tom Wrathman.
Little play action fake. Throw. Pass is complete. Wrathman. Touchdown. Long pass, touchdown, San Francisco.
Similar to the aforementioned John L. Williams, Wrathman proved to be useful as a receiver out of the backfield, catching as many as 73 passes in a single season. He also performed on the game's biggest stage, scoring 2 touchdowns in Super Bowl 24 and winning back-to-back in 1988 and 89. Sure, those 49ers teams had stars like Montana, Rice, and Lott, but it was glue guys and role players like Wrathman that helped build this dynasty. When Al Wilson hit you, it hurt.
Play fake on first down, and a big hit on Olandis Gary by Al Wilson, the middle linebacker.
Williams on the toss. And Ricky Williams is just depleted by Al Wilson. You said, holy cow.
As tough as they come, Wilson was the man in the middle of a Broncos defense that ranked top 10 5 times in total defense from 1999 to 2004.
On second and goal, they give it to the rookie, and he gets hammered by at the line of scrimmage.
Woo, man.
Second and 10.
He was selected to 5 Pro Bowls, all while competing for votes against the likes of Ray Lewis and Junior Seau. His best seasons actually came in the final 2 years of his career, earning a first and second team All-Pro selection in 2005 and 2006.
3 wide receivers in. Vic rushed and sacked. Here comes Anton Palapoy, and the throw is intercepted by Wilson. It's a touchdown.
Sadly, a neck injury suffered at the end of his 2006 campaign halted his career. Wilson ended up retiring while just reaching the top of his game. If injuries didn't come into play, we may be talking about a Hall of Fame career and a name remembered by all football fans. Did you know Bryce Pop won Defensive Player of the Year in 1995?
Harbaugh under pressure, sacked for the third time. Bryce Pop. He's got, Pop knocked the ball loose.
It's true, the forgotten pass rusher of the 90s reached a level of dominance only matched by the all-time greats, but his NFL journey launched as a 6th-round pick by the Packers in 1990.
Cunningham, down he goes again. Bryce Pop back at the 1. In the end zone, Testaverde is sacked. Bryce Pop.
The hidden gem was a steal for the Cheeseheads, who enjoyed his 32.5 sacks from 1991 to 1994. Pop steadily improved every season before finally making his first Pro Bowl trip in year 5. Pop would then head into free agency, where he'd make the best decision of his career.
Down he goes. And who else? Bryce Pop.
In his first season in Buffalo, Pop ascended into stardom, tallying a league-high 17.5 sacks. Even with Bruce Smith there, Pop was the overwhelming choice for Defensive Player of the Year in 1995. He and Smith made the Pro Bowl together. In all 3 years, they were teammates.
Short set, Bryce Pop, that is 16 sacks on the year.
From 1995 to 97, Pop ranked top 5 in the NFL in sacks, establishing himself as one of the most feared defenders in all of football.
Going to be a problem for their secondary. Well, Everett with a nice block there to pick it up, and that is picked off by Merin Hanks. And Merin Hanks down the sideline, cuts it back upfield into the end zone.
The man behind the famous chicken dance, Merin Hanks, was frying opposing quarterbacks as one of the best safeties in football. While Ronnie Lott was out of San Francisco by the mid-90s, Hanks proved to be a sound replacement. By 1994, he was a fixture on the NFL's All-Pro team.
No blitz. A lot of time. Going deep. Intercepted by Merin Hanks.
With an uncanny knack to be around the ball, it was impossible for Hanks to go unnoticed. He averaged 5 picks per season from 1993 to 1998. He intercepted 7 passes in San Francisco's Super Bowl season and saved his best performance against Dallas. His dominant play against the reigning champs was a major factor in San Fran finally getting over the hump and winning their first ring post-Montana.
Picked off on the rebound by Merin Hanks, who's under the runner. Aikman's going to throw. Pass is picked off by Merin Hanks.
He made an All-Pro team every season from 1994 to 1997, and his 22 interceptions during that span were tied for second in the league.
Full blitz by Cincinnati, and good read, look out! He's gone. Brooks, great blocking on the left side. It was Wilkinson and Macy. They read it perfectly.
Living proof that running backs can get better with age, James Brooks was productive well into his 30s. His career began as a backup in San Diego, showing flashes as a dynamic playmaker in the Air Coryell offense. Once he suited up for Cincinnati in 1984, Brooks became the team's top playmaker for 8 seasons.
And a sweep to Brooks. Oh, a good run by Brooks, and he might break it. Touchdown, Bengals!
He recorded over 1,200 yards from scrimmage in 5 of his 8 seasons with the Bengals. Brooks was named to the Pro Bowl 3 straight years and averaged 5 yards per carry from 1985 to 1990. At age 30, he amassed 14 total touchdowns, leading the Bengals to Super Bowl 23.
Brooks across the 40, into the secondary, to the 40, to the 30, and Woodson can't catch up with him. Brooks takes it all the way.
His minimal usage early on helped extend his career to 12 seasons, with his best years coming in his 30s. Brooks was lethal in the pass game too, and is one of only 5 players in history with 40 rushing and 30 receiving touchdowns.
On 2nd and 8, Brady under pressure and going down. That ball loose, there is a scramble, and Miami has it. Cameron Wake with the initial hit. Under pressure, he got hit as he let go. Loose ball, doesn't make any difference. It's going to be Miami football. Cameron Wake in on the quarterback.
We wrap up this episode with one of the best pass rushers of the 2010s, Dolphins great Cameron Wake. Wake's road to the NFL was different than most, starting his football career in the Canadian Football League. In 2 seasons there, Wake was named the most outstanding defensive player in each and earned a shot to play for the Dolphins in 2009.
Pulls it down and he goes down. Cameron Wake. Far right of his own end zone, had a hit from behind. Loose ball on the ground, fallen on by the Dolphins.
It's a touchdown. Cameron Wake coming around the corner.
In 2010, he made his first Pro Bowl with 14 sacks and a league-best 21 tackles for loss. Wake followed that up with 4 more All-Pro caliber seasons and totaled the most sacks in the NFL between 2010 and 2017. His talent was often the difference between Miami winning and losing games, with his most iconic performance coming in a Thursday night thriller against the Bengals in 2013.
Dalton. Pressured, lost the ball. The Dolphins are on it. Cameron Wake hit his hand and he covered it.
Rolling to his right is Andy Dalton. Stops. He goes down. Cameron Wake may have come up with another sack. Dolphins secondary looks a bit confused. Here they come. And he's hit into the end zone. It's a sack. Safety. The Dolphins win the football game.
Cam Wake. Cam says, hey, I'm back.
With over 100 career sacks, Wake was a constant force to be reckoned with, but often overlooked by the masses. In an era with Von Miller and J.J. Watt, Wake was in the mix amongst the NFL's great pass rushers.